Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. And we are back to talk Lady in the Lake, episode 4. Innocence leaves when you discover cruelty, first in yourself, then in others. And I just want to say, Platt, at this point, you get what you get. I can't even be mad. And Reggie, I could care less about your tears. In advance, trigger warning, there were some super heavy themes addressed in this episode. So I just want to put that out there. Trigger warning for SA. Okay, so let's just get into it. Maddie and Stefan, y'all know that she had been writing that man in the Pinta and he is allowing a visit. And so now that she thinks she's an investigative journalist or reporter, she goes to see him. And Stefan has more sense than most of the people on this show. Okay, I just want to set it right there. She's questioning him about everything that happened with Tessie. And he's kind of deflecting, but he flat out says, I didn't do this. I didn't do this, but I know where she was, okay? Because you go there too, Maddie, don't you? And then we get into something that happened with Alan Durst back in the woods all those years ago, honey. And sad, yes, and I'm just going to set it right there. I don't even want to really get off deep into it, but Stefan basically goes on to say he was experimented on because he was a conscientious objector due to his Seventh-day Adventist faith. And so the government did this top secret testing, and that's why he is the way that he is today. Mind you, he is in a psychiatric hospital for all intents and purposes. He don't want to be recorded. And she starts spilling right then and there. And again, Maddie is unhinged. She has deep, dark secrets. She's done something bad. Not only was this thing done to her, I believe that she did something too. And hopefully we will get the truth out of it. And again, you the one lying, Maddie. Nobody's lying but you, in my opinion. The tempo's changing, okay? And so I think that's really important to look at in this episode. You'll find moments throughout sprinkled where we find the pace is changing. The words are staying the same, right? But the tempo is changing. And I don't know if that's to build suspense or to address the anxiety that maybe these characters are feeling at the time, but it's definitely interesting. And he basically tells her before she leaves, being a virgin won't save you. Okay. Listen, because it didn't save me. And she's like, what do you mean? Baby, it's too deep for you to understand, Maddie. Go on and go home. Okay. Because he was a virgin when they made him sick. All right. And so she decides that this is going to be the angle that she uses for her paper, for her report, article, whatever you want to call it. And and it goes viral basically in those days. Everybody is writing in, everybody wants to talk about it. And so now she's officially on the payroll with her own desk and own typewriter. Go figure. Go figure. Okay. Next we see Reggie and Dora, and basically Reggie's like, you can't leave me. You high, you can't leave me. But we already knew this was the type of time he was on. This is not a surprise. Next, we see Lil Teddy, aka T-Man, and Cleo, his mama. And she's like, baby, don't tell nobody about this, but we're going to go to this hairdresser. We're going to get her to play this number. And she's going to take 20%. I'm going to take the rest, but you ain't heard nothing from me. Okay. And so she goes to see the hairdresser lady. And listen, here's $50, 20%, because by this time, Reggie has given her the number. Okay. So the plan is in motion. Her terrible plan is in motion. Daniel, aka Platt, out here trying to be a hero. He's trying to catch the people who shot at Congresswoman Summers. Okay. And so he goes to the pigeon place and bumps into Big Papa, right, with his white woman. And he said, look at that. Not with the white tramp. Ain't that right, Platt? Because we know what Platt likes. Okay. And I said, if Big Boy outruns Daniel in this, I will not be able to take it. And so they end up in the strip club, honey. And this lady with these balloons, I've never seen anything like it. They're not doing that today. Okay. They're not doing that on the pole at all, because the way she was bending over, pop a balloon. She, like, the Ninas was up there and they were popping the balloon. Like, it was a whole moment. Okay. And so Platt's in this dark freak factory looking for Big Boy, and you can't help but see him sweating, and his big partner's there just standing up, not ducking when shots ring out. And so he gets popped in the head. He's a goner. This is the corrupt one, right? And Platt gets Big Boy, right? So now he is a hero. row. Okay. Shell finds out because of the news that Reggie had Cleo go and do this job he wasn't supposed to. And he said, just like Father Abraham and Isaac in the Bible. You know what I mean? An angel of mercy gonna need to come. Okay. And that angel of mercy ain't gonna come unless you take Cleo out. And Reggie says, no, but it's Christmas. What about her babies? He said, make sure she's at this Christmas charity thing so I can get a picture with her. And later that evening, you better take her out. If not, I'm gonna take you out. All right. Dora's in a frenzy. She high, but she's rightfully scared. And, we find these moments throughout the episode where I think the people are kind of sensing what's about to happen, but don't quite know. And I think this is the moment with Dora as well. She's like, Cleo, I've always wanted you on stage with me. I want you to come with me, sis. And Cleo's like, baby, I can't do it. I can't do it. And we know why. Next, we see Platt on the damn fire escape. Platt, get off of the fire escape. We said it was going to get you found out, baby, and this time it did. You're found out by that gross detective. Okay. And so he goes with the fire escape and proceeds to get busy with Maddie because this is what they do. Now, I will say of all of the smeck scenes that we've seen between these two, this one kind of was the hottest, I guess. There was a lot of panting and moaning for the 2 seconds, right? It's just, again, it's no chemistry. And I'm like, Platt, you just don't think fat meat's greasy. You think you are an invincible black man. Honey, you want this white woman and it's going to be your demise. Believe me. So Maddie's telling her good news to him. He's telling his good news that he made detective. And honey, she goes on talking about Mr. Detective. Now, he just was waiting his whole life to have a white woman call him Mr. All right. That's what it gave in this scene. It was not a vibe. It was not. Okay. And so then Maddie says, baby, I want to see you outside the bedroom. I want to see you outside the hood. I want to see you outside of my apartment. Okay. And I'm thinking, girl, go to the hot place. It's 1966 Baltimore, baby. Y'all ain't going nowhere in public. He said it's against the law that I stand to uphold. Well, baby, you don't care nothing about that law in this apartment, in this bedroom. Okay. And then she gets to talking about her partners, and the husband found out that he wasn't her first sex. And she has the audacity and the gall to tell Platt that he's only her third. Quit lying, Maddie. Maddie, you're a lie and the truth ain't in you. Don't even address it. Don't even bring up body count. It's not important. At this point, y'all done already went to the jungle. It does not matter. Okay. Yeah. And so then we flash back to the essay of Alan and her in the woods. She's telling him to stop rubbing on her dress, and he proceeds to go on and do what he does, and then says, and I never want to see you again after this. He was accusing her of being with other people. She's like, I ain't been with nobody else but you. And baby, I don't know. Based on Maddie and who she is today, I don't know, but no means no. And Alan, you was wrong. Okay. And I couldn't have let you live it down, buddy. I would have haunted your dreams, sir. I would have haunted your dreams. Okay. And so now that he's leaving, Platt's leaving the apartment, the cop sees, and I said, you're just a big dummy. Okay. And basically Stefan's the smartest one. It's Christmas Eve now. He's in there. They bring him out of his cell into the common area to celebrate, baby. He done set one of the guards on fire, literally on fire. Later in the episode, we going to see him in Maddie's apartment. And she's scared. And she said, baby, keep my secret. I'll keep yours. He said, don't tell my mama. He said, you're with a black man? You're with a Negro? And she says, yes, and he'll be here any minute. And he said, well, I thought we were going to run off together, but I see that that's not going to happen. Yeah. And I'm just sitting here like, something we really didn't need. Meanwhile, Cleo was basically saying, she thought she was getting somewhere, but she was closer to unaliving dealing with Stefan than she was in any of her other escapades. Okay. And so now that it's Christmas Eve, Reggie done hit Cleo up and is basically like, meet me at the park. And she's like, cool. And so Cleo goes home and she has kind of this one last conversation with her mom talking about, I needed you. I needed you to let me know that when daddy left, it wasn't my fault. Because this is what she's warring within the episode. Aside from everything else, not leaving her kids behind, not any of that. It's the idea that she's going to leave. So if her father comes back, she won't be there. Girl, that man gone. What happened to you, what's about to happen to you probably happened to him, is my theory with what went on. Okay. And so next we see Slappy come in the house, and again, he calling Cleo mama, and she said, I'm not your mama, baby. Listen, he said, well, I came for some macaroni and cheese. Don't nobody want them dry greens she cooked. And Papa Isaiah was like, I want it. And again, mama knows something's wrong. And she, baby, just tell me what's going on, Cleo. And Cleo shut down. And so they kind of have their moment. And next thing we know, Cleo and Slappy are walking down the street. And he said, I'm ready for you to come home. And she says, well, the babies will want to come. And he says, well, they can come too. And they're finally getting along. He's got a job, honey, at the Red Fox Cafe or something like that, telling his jokes. And she's like, I am happy, baby. You're Cleo. You can't hide anything. Okay. We know what it is. She got her suitcase, she got the bread, and she's on her way to the park. Okay. Next, we're at Hanukkah service, and Maddie is there. Everyone's asking her questions about her article. And Alan Durst says, get out of here, Maddie. This is what you always wanted, your name in print. And now you got what you wanted. Get out of here. She said, I'm not leaving. And I would have aired him out right there. I don't give a darn. I don't give a darn. Because you're not finna disrespect me. Little Seth comes in and says, well, I agree with them. And Maddie slaps the dog mess out of him. But girl, it ain't his fault. He's the way he is. You're the reason he is the way that he is. Okay. And again, my thing, I'd be like, coming from a rapist, like coming from you, buddy, who did all the dirt. I just, and so again, we go back to Cleo and Slappy walking down the street, and he's like, are you happy? She's like, I'm happy. I'm just happy. Everything's finally coming together. Next thing we see, her at the park bench and Reggie's headlights. Child. And then it's over. Virtually. So we go back to, this is before Stefan left Maddie's house. He basically says, if you forgive me, I'll forgive you. And it's easy to do that. It's definitely easier than forgiving ourselves. And don't tell my mama I was here. Next thing we know, he is running through the woods like a runaway slave, gets in the lake, and basically calls himself a slave. He's a slave to sin. He's trying to be baptized too. He take him to the water, okay, to be baptized. And the police are chasing him down with the dogs and all that. Meanwhile, Reggie is dumping Cleo's body, which we saw in the first episode. And baby, tell me why he fall off the little water tower and looks like a daggum chalk outline. His legs bent back up to his forehead. Y'all, poor Cleo. That's it, guys. That was episode 4. Y'all know we will be back Sunday to break it down in great detail. But drop it in the comments. Let me know how you felt about this episode. Overall, it was anticlimactic for me, and I feel like it was too on the nose. I would have preferred more nuance with how she was unalived. But I guess, 1966 Baltimore, what could we expect? I also I'm not really feeding into the Maddie Platt situation and this, desire for submission from a white woman or whatever this power dynamic is going on in their relationship. I really, it's kind of gross. And maybe that's the intention. You know what I mean? But you guys let me know what you thought. And if you're still here, thank you guys so much for watching. We recently hit 4K on the channel, and I'm so grateful to everyone who comes by and tunes in. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Baby, we got content coming out multiple times a week. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.